Yeah, and I also wanted to come back because I forgot to add a certain part to that video I just did. It did for some reason that the internet on this phone keeps dropping. Um, but let me get some proper lighting. Hang on. I just wanted to say that we need to forgive people. You know, um, that's the other part of this video. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this because I spent some time on the other video. You know, um, Forgiveness is very very important. Um, it's important for your psychological health, your emotional health. It's good for spiritually. Like it's just you can't be spiritual without forgiveness, and it is a process. So you know, um, that's just I mean personally myself, I see God on the matter, and I understand that he has a plan for humanity. He doesn't cause anything bad to happen, but it's all happening, and he's just. And personally myself, I don't want anything bad to happen to any of my enemies, man. Once upon a time I think I did. You know, but I really don't think I want anything bad to happen to them. I just want them to, you know, um, I want their needs to be met. Because everybody has needs, man. I don't mean to sound like a soft person, like I'm just like a big mush. That's not what I am. When somebody does you wrong, they should be held accountable. People should be held accountable when they treat people wrong, and that's kind of what I did. That's why I told, my stepmom, because when you do something wrong, you should be held accountable for it. But we need to forgive too. Um, and the best way to do that is to understand that that's to not forgive it is a sin. It's pride, and by not forgiving, you're making yourself a god. You know, because that's essentially that's what pride is. Pride is lack of fear of God. That's basically pride in a nut. That's my definition of pride. Is when I say fear, I don't mean fear like somebody would fear a dictator. Like people feared Hitler. That's fear. You just do stuff out of fear. Like fear is like religion. The kind of fear I'm talking about is like love. Like it's kind of hard to explain. Just Google the biblical interpretation of fear, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Like a lot of people think, well, fear of God, I mean, God wants us to be afraid of him. That's not the kind of fear he's talking about. um like I said, I mean, I'm kind of like I'm still kind of new to all this, but just look it up. um but forgiveness is very essential to spiritual growth, and we're all here to grow spiritually, not financially. Sure, have a nice life, but this life is temporary, plain and simple. Eventually this life is going to be no more. So life really begins when you leave this place. This is just a place that we're here for some reason, and you know there's so much beyond this place. So forgiveness is just understand that God, let God be God. Let God be God. Just understand that these people, like the conclusion that I came to, what really helped me through God's grace was, these people that that I was holding a grudge against, and like I said, I mean, I still have some forgiveness to do. I really, really do, and I'm not going to sit here and hide from that. You know, I think we all do, to a certain extent. But you know what? That's you, and I'm me. So I'll just speak for myself. Um, I definitely do, and unforgiveness is a. But you know what? God is helping me through this. God knows right where I'm at, and He's not going to condemn me for it because He knows I'm aware of it, and I'm not denying it. And I'm giving it to Him, and I'm working with Him. At that point, I don't think God would ever condemn somebody like that because depending on the the size of the offense, God knows that we're human. You know, so we're kind of dumbed down spiritually, like beyond the five senses. I mean, we really can't. We really don't know what's going on too much. You know, we think we're smart, but we're really not. We're really, you know, in this little box called humanity. And there's so much more to it than just us in the world we live in. But I mean, forgiveness is very, very essential to to just overall health, especially spiritual health. So I mean, like I said, I'm just kind of tired right now, man. I know I'm kind of just dragging my words out. Oh boy, what I'm trying to say is like the conclusion that God helped me get to was I understand that there's a God up there, and these people that that offended me or whatever. I mean, they they belong to God. They're God's creation. Not everybody's God's children, you know, because not everybody, most people aren't living for God or even attempting to, um, but at the end of the day, we're all God's children, or we're all God's creation. That's what I meant to say. He created everything. Even he created you, your mom, your brother, your sister, whoever. He created me too and my family. He's the creator of everything. He knows everything. He knows every leaf that falls off of a tree. He knows every bird that falls from the sky. He knows every insect that is accidentally stepped on. He knows everything. Every thought that you think, every thought that I think, everything he knows. Um, you know, that's God. And there's a God up there, and we just need to. I mean, these people are his creation, and who am I to sit here and hold a grudge against these people, because these are his creation. Like, these are his, like, you just have to get to the point when you look at somebody or you look at something, like anything, that's God's creation. Like, these people are God's creation. I did not create these people, just like those people did not create me. They're God's creation. So once you really start to become in tune with that, even though these people offended you, you have a sense of, you still love them because they're God's creation. God made us all in his image. So when you look at somebody, and you really become in tune with that, not just up here, but you really become in tune with that in your heart, you really start to really feel that. When you really feel what I'm saying right now, then you start to just, you start to look at things a little bit differently. Then forgiveness all of a sudden is more than just a word or whatever. Like, there's really a God up there, and your enemy, that's God's creation. You're God's creation too, and God loves that enemy, even though that enemy did you wrong, and he loves you too. And he's not all love. Like I said before in my other video, he's also wrath, but even his wrath is done out of love. And God does not punish people who are not his children, by the way. I believe that's biblical. Like I said, see God for yourself. Don't listen to nothing I say. But God's not gonna. I don't think God is gonna. From what I understand, God does not punish people who are not his children. Every time I've seen God punish somebody, it's always been his children. And God does not punish to be mean. He's not like some alcoholic parent that's going to come home and smack his kids just because he's drunk and angry. God does it with a purpose, kind of like a good parent would say, go to your room. He's not doing that just because he's flexing his, because he's abusing his power. He does it with a purpose, like every good parent should do. No parent should ever abuse their power. If you're going to punish your kid, do it with purpose and don't be abusive about it. And so that's basically what it is. But truth of the matter is, most people aren't God's children. I know that's what society likes to say. We're all God's children. It's not the case. Because if that's the case, why are most people going to hell? Think of it that way. I mean, come on, man. So that's just somebody just said that one day and it sounded really good to somebody else, and it's kind of like word of mouth. It just kind of traveled and became a thing of the way people think. We're not all God's children. But you can be. Anybody can be. But yeah, just forgiveness is where it's at. So I'm just telling you how I'm starting out to. I'm really starting to become in tune to the fact that these people, no matter who they are, where they come from, rich or poor, whatever country, you know, even the people who hurt me the most in life, these are God's create. And God is not looking down and smiling at, God is not looking down, you know, ignoring the way people treat me or you. He's aware of everything, you know, but at the same time, he does love them. Even though they might not be his child, he still loves them. And, we need to love them too, not for what they've done to us, but just because, they're God's creation. And I know that probably sounds weird to a lot of people, but you just have to understand, what I'm talking about, I guess. So I'm just gonna leave it there because I guess I'm touching on a lot of things that people are just like, what is this dude talking about? Whatever, man. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Have a nice day.